Well, here comes the pain. Hi, everybody. Zach Attack is here at my WWE Raw Supershow review for the night Monday, April 2nd, 2012, aka the day after WrestleMania, Miami, Florida, American Airlines Arena. It was great Raw tonight. Crowd was intense. We saw two big returns, including, yes, the next big thing made his return tonight. The months and months of speculation, he has returned in a big way tonight. Who knows what will happen with him down the line? But before we get to his big return and another return tonight, overall tonight's Raw after WrestleMania, there was some silliness, a no contest, a squash, and a counter. Wrestling-wise, was not the best Raw. Well, I know why. It's after WrestleMania. Everyone's tired. Everyone's exhausted. But made up for it is some big returns. Well, kind of three, because one guy returned as a new character, so there you go. We began Raw with, well, The Rock coming out, of course, in celebration of his big victory against John Cena last night. And from the beginning of the night, you can tell the crowd was intense. The crowd cheered their asses off for The Rock. He came out talking about how he beat Cena, how he thanked Cena for respect. He respected Cena. Cena did the same thing when he came out later on. Like, they both have respect for each other, for putting on a great matchup, living up to everyone's expectations. I like the signs, especially when it says finally The Rock has come back to whip Cena's ass. Should have put candy, but there's a lot of, like I said, boots to asses chant, a lot of chants for The Rock tonight. And of course, the big thing was Rock's ending sentence that he said he has a vision after he beat Cena at the end of celebration. He had a vision that he would be the pie-eating man, pie-eating, something about Madeline, I'll be WWE champion. That's weird. It'd be weird to have a guy who's WWE champion who doesn't show up every week. Maybe Rock dedicates himself a little more to be WWE guy. Maybe he'll be WWE champion again. Maybe hold it like a month. Like what happened with The Rock and Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan lost to The Rock, but Hulk Hogan came back strong because the Hulk still rules thing. He beat Triple H at Backlash 2002. Backlash is a key word. You know that later on. I'll get to a certain time. So, Rock was back in Cena. He said we'd be champions. So we kicked off Raw tonight with Rock coming up. Crowd was already intense. But before The Rock came out, we had an opening segment involving the new GM of both Raw and SmackDown, Mr. John Laurinaitis. He abused his power quickly. He kept calling it people power, but it was more like abusive power. He began with Santino Marella, the team member, team captain of Team Teddy, taking on Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger in a triple threat match for the United States Championship to kick things off. The only real long match tonight. This match was okay, but triple threat, good, decent opener, especially since all these guys wrestled last night. Dolph got a big good ovation for Miami. Kind of the theme of the night, weird people getting cheered and stuff. A lot of cheers. It was a decent triple threat. Jack mostly was a beatdown. It was more like a handicap match with Swagger and Dolph teaming up against Santino for most of the fight, for most of this match. It was decent moves from both guys. But then near the end, where I think Jack or Dolph was supposed to pin somebody, then Jack or Dolph broke up the count. Jack and Dolph got it on for a little bit. And then, of course, that led up to Santino getting a Cobra on Jack Swagger. 1, 2, 3. Santino retains the U.S. Championship despite being involved in somewhat, would say, a handicap match. Now, on with our next match following the big victory for Santino. We had the debut of Lord Tensai, a.k.a. A-Train, a.k.a. Albert, a.k.a. Prince Albert. Of course, he was known as a big guy in Japan, in Japan Pro Wrestling, and now he's back in WWE. Been seeing these promos for a week about this guy, and he wore this mask and stuff about this Japanese guy, because he's big in Japan. They did say on the commentaries that WWE Star returning as Lord Sensei. At least they addressed he is a former WWE Star without giving away who it is. But it was, of course, I knew it kind of a squash match with AY Alex Riley. I think we all knew someone's going to get the asses beat in AY. Oh, one last thing. Speaking of squashes, Before I move on, I forgot to mention that after the match, Swagger and Ziggler were trying to attack Santino, and Santino brought out Funkasaurus, Boris Clay getting a big Funkasaurus chant in the crowd, and Santino even got there with Boris Clay. I spell a tag team match next week between Santino, Funkasaurus, and Ziggler and Swagger. See what happens there. Now, back on topic. Lord Sensei against Alex Riley. It was more like a beatdown. Lord Sensei beat the crap out of Alex Riley. He just destroyed him with all these moves. It was basically a no contest, but basically it was Lord Sensei winning by forfeit because he just beat the crap out of Alex Riley. He wouldn't pin him. We had to stop the match because Lord Sensei was just beating the shit out of Alex Riley, just destroying him with all these moves. And of course, it was kind of a squash thing. See what happens with this Lord Sensei guy, how well he do. See what happens with Albert's Matone. I'm glad he shaved his back and his chest. He had like a hairy back. Shave your back, chance. I remember that. He still has the piercings. But see what happens with this Wayne. And of course, it's Matone on WWE. Now, as I mentioned, John Laurinaitis using his abusive power made a match with Santino versus Swagger and Ziggler. But he also made a match between CM Punk defending the WWE Championship against Mark Henry, 24 hours removed from his match against Jericho. I thought Jericho was going to get involved in the match. He didn't, but after, well, this match was, I don't know, like Punk was hurting for Mania. It was okay. Punk did his best with it. It was actually pretty decent for being a match with Mark Henry, you know. A lot better than Big Show and Cody Rhodes last night. They got involved in some shape and form on Raw tonight, which I'll get to. That's actually our next match following this one. Mark Henry took control most of the match, and Punk tried his best with kicks, and the crowd was like hyped in Miami tonight. I bet just because they didn't, maybe just because of protesting the closing of FCW, maybe that's why they were chanting like, yes, yes, yes. Every time Punk did something, yes, yes, yes. They were chanting Daniel Bryan too, which would make sense. Mark Henry, whenever he did something, no, no, no. I like this crowd, and probably my best crowd I've seen since I think Philly and Chicago. After everything, Punk was finally having his way with Mark Henry, nailing the elbow. There was a Macho Man in the crowd. That was cool. He did the Bulldog. He did a high knee twice. He was about to do the Bulldog. It was tossed out of the ring by Mark Henry. Mark was all woozy from the kicks from Punk. He wasn't able to break the count, and Punk got counted out. Therefore, Mark Henry won the match, but not the war. He didn't win the title. So Mark Henry beat the crap out of Punk some more. And the Laurinaitis came out saying, Punk, you ain't ready to title, defend it regularly. Well, there's some storms in your future. Well, that storm is nicknamed Y2J. Chris Jericho came out from the crowd, talking about, oh, the man that beat me last night got his ass whipped tonight, kind of like that. And Punk's like, Chris Jericho's like, how about we do a celebration, Punk? With a drink, continuing this whole storyline following his family. He got a bottle of Jack Daniels and poured it all over Punk. And then he took another bottle, smashed on the back of his head. And I made predictions on the show, on my videos before, and I'm usually right. Big Show, Cody Rhodes, I predicted that. I predicted Randy Orton Kane, and I'm going with a bold prediction. Chris Jericho versus CM Punk in a ladder match at Extreme Rules. Because it's an extreme pay-per-view with extreme stipulations. They can't do a TLC match because there's a pay-per-view named that. So I smell a ladder match between Punk and Jericho at Extreme Rules. But at least the feud ain't over yet, despite a great match at Mania last night to continue this feud. So we'll see how this fails out. After his segment involving Sheamus, of course, Sheamus came out celebrating, got some mixed reception. Sheamus was about to speak about beating Daniel Bryan. And here comes the returning Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo and all. And I told you about the crowd chanting, yes, yes, yes. They were chanting, see, see, see during Alberto's speech, talking about how he's back, about wanting the title from Sheamus. And Sheamus is like, I'm going to kick somebody, not hear people talk. And then Alberto was trying to speak. The crowd was so loud, you couldn't hear him much about way to kick ass. And of course, Alberto said he'll face off against Sheamus in a non-title match this Friday, thanks to new permanent GM of both shows, John Laurinaitis. If Alberto should win against Sheamus Friday, he'll get a future title shot. I'm smelling extreme rules for that. So, but it was kept talking. His mic went out. So he was trying to get another mic from Ricardo. Boom! Cold kick from Sheamus. Then we saw Daniel Bryan in the back, and of course that's when the crowd went ballistic, chanting Daniel Bryan. That's the only time we saw him tonight attempted to be interviewed by Josh Matthews, not saying a word about being upset about losing. Speaking of being upset about losing, at least a man who did lose had a lot more to say, which I'll get to in our last segment. Now on our next match, Cody Rhodes against Kofi Kingston. Began the match, Cody Rhodes was ready to nail the hell out of Kofi Kingston. He got the beautiful disaster kick on Kofi, but here comes the new Intercontinental Champion, the Big Show. Big Show said, "What goes around comes around, Cody. You embarrassed me for weeks. Now it's time to show your embarrassing WrestleMania moment." And with that distraction from Big Show about showing Cody Rhodes his embarrassing moment after getting knocked out last night at WrestleMania, and I called this. I said, Cody's going to turn around after getting distracted. Trouble in Paradise. Boom. That's what happened. Trouble in Paradise by Kofi. 1, 2, 3. Kind of a 30-second match. Kofi Kingston wins thanks to interference by the Big Show. And, of course, Kofi is a member of Team Teddy. You know, Team Teddy got screwed by Eve. Before we got to Eve, we had a segment with Mark Henry in the back. And he got bumped into by Abraham Washington, the laughingstock of ECW. God, I hated this shit. I hated his shtick. He never even wrestled. Now he's like a lawyer guy. I like that the crowd said, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" No one cares about him. He's a piece of shit. I wish Mark Henry could have just slammed him, but maybe that'll come in a couple weeks to come with this whole going storyline with Abraham Washington, who's a piece of shit. That one with Eve, who screwed Team Teddy last night, coming out talking about Zack Ryder, yada yada yada, manipulating her, manipulating him, not manipulating John Laurinaitis, and a huge Hosky chant, loud one. Speaking of Hosky, here comes the Hosky. Zack Ryder came out next to take on the man who pinned him last night, Miz. And Zack Ryder did very well with Miz. You know, it was a decent matchup. Ryder did very well. He was near the bro kick. The broski kick. Crowd was into it. Crowd cheered his ass on, but there was another skull-crushing finale for Mr. Ryder. And no, Eve did not get involved. And Miz pinned Zack Ryder for the second time in less than 24 hours. Now on to our last segment, which was John Cena. Now we saw footage about John Cena talking about his match, but no one remembers second place, about not losing. And here comes John Cena to, once again, as usual, a mixed ovation, mostly boos from the fans. And he talked about losing to The Rock last night, about like not being upset that he lost. He's like, I know that this is the time that everyone wants me to lash out at the WWE Universe. And the crowd was like, yes, yes, turn heel, yes. That ain't gonna happen. Boo. I like that Cena kind of teased him like that. We don't know he's gonna not turn heel, but at least he teased him like that. So Cena kept talking about being a loser. I like the "you're a loser" chant. You're a loser, and another chant, which I'll get to. So Cena's like, Rock, I'm a man. I'll take my loss like a man. And I want to congratulate you personally. I respect you after the match. I know this year's been a rough roller coaster booking this match, promoting this match. And I respect you now, Dwayne Johnson. He kept calling him Dwayne. If you have respect for him, Cena, why are you still calling him by his real name? You know, he's like, oh, I respect you, I respect you. You still call him Dwayne Johnson. So that means rematch. No. I don't think they can ever do that. That's like Rock and Hogan having a rematch. It won't be the same, but see what happens there. So Cena's like, I want you to Rock to come out. Well, it wasn't Rock. It was Rock plus B. Brock Lesnar. There's been a lot of rumors ever since Brock Lesnar lost to Alistair Overeem at UFC 130 something, like 140, like 139 or 38 or something. New Year's Eve. And said he retired. There's been a lot of rumors about him being back in the WWE. Well, in the last 24 hours, there's reports of Brock Lesnar being in Miami and signing a one-year deal. There was even rumors of him appearing last night at WrestleMania. But many people speculated that he would be at Raw tonight. And there was Brock Lesnar signs. We want Brock, and there was many we want Lesnar chants. And when Brock was about to come out, we all thought Brock was going to come out from Cena. Then, well, like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, here comes the pain. Brock Lesnar returned to a big ovation. Now, this kind of is weird. John Cena's first WWE title match he ever had when he was a heel was against Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar beat him. And Brock Lesnar was kind of the reason why Cena, because he injured Cena. Like Lesnar injured Cena in this whole storyline when Cena was heel. And that's when Cena named this move the FU. After Brock Lesnar's F5, which John Cena received. This could be WrestleMania 29 main event. You know, they said something about booking the WrestleMania 29 main event a year in advance like they did with Brock and Cena. So Brock and Cena is possible for WrestleMania 29. Maybe SummerSlam. Like, I don't know what the plan is with Brock and Cena, but Brock Lesnar's back in the WWE. It's weird to see him back in WWE. I know it's been rumors for months and months. I just could ever imagine him being really back in WWE. You know what I mean? And it's nice to see him back, but we'll see how he does in a new WWE. It's different ever since he left in 2004. You know, it's weird. Because he went from real fighting back to, well, some would say fake fighting, but it's wrestling, so. But it's nice to see him back and beat the shit out of Cena. So there you go. That is it for my Raw Super Show review at the Man from WrestleMania. Comment your thoughts below. Are you happy Brock Lesnar's back? Do you think his comeback was decent? Comment your thoughts on one below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you all very much for watching my video. Thank you all again. With that in mind, you've all been a text button review from Zach. Thank you very much. See you all later. Yeah, he's back. Dun, 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 dun. Only now is Paul Heyman. See ya.